So we will be using the chairs, only the chairs that have no desks and have nothing on them, okay? There is a game that's called The Wind of Democracy. Because we'll talk a little bit about democracy in this last session. The game is called The Wind of Democracy. So what will happen in our game? I'm here in the middle of the room, and I'm going to make a statement. The wind of democracy blows for everyone in this room who believes that internet is an extraordinary thing. So everyone who believes in that something has to stand up and find a different seat. Okay, is this clear? We will remove one of the chairs. So the chair, this chair, I also have a chair, like only this one. Okay, imagine this is my chair. As I'm standing in the middle, I don't have a chair. I want to take a seat. And for me to take a seat, I need to wake up or to kind of get up from the chairs, as many of you as possible. Which is why my statements have to be really something that most of you in the room believe in. If I manage to find a seat, and any of you doesn't have a seat, you need to make a statement about internet. Something positive about the internet. Is this clear? Let's try. The wind of democracy blows for everyone in this room who believe that internet provides a great opportunity for new services. If you believe in this, stand up. Okay, okay. You have to stand, you have to stand. No, you don't use that. It was no one there. Take this. You should come up with a statement about something positive about the internet. And you say, the wind of democracy.
The wind of democracy blows for internet in the
for those people in the room,
people present
in this room,
stated that the internet is a phenomenon and a new shape for democracy.
it's a new shape for democracy. Yeah, I believe in this. Okay. Okay.
The wind of democracy blows for everyone in this room for a new understanding of human rights in a sphere of information access.
So who believe in human rights or who?
Yeah. Internet gives the possibility to reach or to get a great number of information and to share your minds, opinions.
Yeah, of course.
And other aspects.
Yes, of course. Okay, okay. And
Но видите, опять же, вот we have an empty chair.
but there was no one there.
Yeah.
Find someone. Find one more person. Find a different person to make a new statement.
Okay, so anyone.
Pick on anyone. Okay.
You're welcome.
So something positive about the internet. Yes, something positive about the internet.
Maybe I repeat some thoughts, but I think the wind of democracy blows for all of this room to the thing that the internet it's interesting paradigm that give us the opportunity, how you say, to share, to be another person, to be absolutely new person that can take something another, which in a real life he normally say. He can't say.
He can't say.
Yes,
Okay.
he can share your thoughts and be another people which have another mind.
Okay. Okay. Anyone believes in this? Is this something true about internet? Mm-hmm. 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 And you yourself would. Okay. Yeah. The right answer. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So we've seen and we've heard a number of things about the internet, about something positive about the internet. What I would like to ask you to do now is to stand in two lines face to face to each other. Two lines. Mm-hmm. Face each other. You have to have someone in front of you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Come to the front. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Your task is, one by one, to quickly share, and you have maximum 2 minutes for this, to quickly share as many benefits and advantages of the internet as possible. Any advantages, any benefits that the internet has. For example, you say something, and then you say something, without actually stopping, without reflecting. But this is something like you're having a very quick conversation between you two. Is this clear? 2, 3, start.
Okay, communication is each other all over the world.
Stop. Mm-hmm. Dear participants, kindly stop. Thank you very much. Please take your own seats. Mm-hmm. And let's quickly hear up some of the key advantages, some of the key benefits. But please, if this idea has been already shared, skip it. Don't repeat the same idea if it has been already shared. So any benefits, any advantages that you have shared, that you have heard? E-learning. Okay. E-learning. Mm-hmm.
Communication without borders. Yes.
Communication. No borders. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, e-commerce.
Okay, just here. Online commerce. Mm-hmm. E-commerce. Mm-hmm.
Online
Advertisement. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Life online.
Someone else? Online services. What kind of services? Online services, e-services. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Political transparency.
Political transparency. Mm-hmm. Transparency. Okay, good. E-banking. Mm-hmm. And with this, you have the e-money, e-banking, everything. Uh-huh. E-medicine. Mm-hmm. E-medicine. Yes?
Digital nations.
Digital nations.
Yes.
Digital nations.
And digital
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Uh-huh. Good. Yeah. Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Okay. And one more.
sharing information, communicating
Communication.
with others. No, I mean that it becomes much more quicker.
Quick.
faster.
Speedier. Speedy sharing. Mm-hmm. Okay. E-jobs. Mm-hmm. So meaning something that you can do online and you still jobs. Mm-hmm. So the list of the benefits of the internet, regardless of the whole discussion that you had today, right? Because the discussion today was quite challenging from the perspective of the blocking, of the data protection, surveillance. So internet provides a number of amazing opportunities and benefits, right? Are you using today all of this? Partially. What hinders you, or what prohibits you for using all of this? What are the impediments? No need for something? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. So some of us are using some of these things. But what do you think is the greatest emerging opportunity that internet provides today? If you want to pick one great opportunity for the future, what is that something that internet can provide?
Provides equal opportunities for everyone and engages everyone all over the world.
Around what? Engages everyone in what? It is already a source of communication. It is already access to knowledge. There is something else that it's going to generate and to influence in the future. And what's that? Values, okay. And it does already. It changes and it influences the values at different levels in the society. What else?
The change body.
Sorry? The change?
Fantastic. It's using internet it's possible to change body. It's space.
Okay, well, we're talking about some science fiction here. Okay. 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 Okay, interesting. We'll come back to this question at the end of the session and we'll see whether you have new answers or not. There is a lot of discussion these days about the internet as such. What is internet? What does it provide? What are the opportunities or what opportunities it provides, and as a service itself, what kind of benefits it fulfills? There is a lot of talk about the public value. And what's the public value of the internet from your perspective? What do you think? Is there a value in the internet? Freedom. Freedom of? Equality. It is the theory of the public value that goes back to some years now. It says that as long as a service brings a public value, changes and shapes and influences positively lives of people, then it means it has a public value. And as long as what matters, as long as it works, as long as it exists and it produces this great changes and great outcomes, it means that it has this public value. Maybe you in Ukraine have today you've heard a lot about the public sector reforms, right? Each and every single government from time to time has a review of its public sector functioning, the way the public services are being delivered, the way civil servants are engaging with the citizens, the way they deliver the services, and so on and so forth. Do you think internet is influencing the way these public sector reforms are going to be shaped in the future? And how exactly?
Because the internet creates new needs and new expectations from the citizens. And they are more interested in quick and qualitative
information. And we've been talking a lot today about the access to information, about how you gain this information from the public servants or sector. So as a quick summary, internet has a strong potential to serve the public good. Internet is twofold. Internet, first of all, is a service itself, right? I'm benefiting from a service itself. And it's also a means through which other services could be delivered, which is why it's very complex and it has so many different aspects that we've been discussing about during this training, which is why as a service itself, it has to be secure, it has to be accessible to as many citizens as possible, and it has to be affordable. I will quickly skip this. A very interesting research from, if I'm not wrong, 2008 shows that the more time citizens spend on the internet, the lesser degree of trust they have in the governments. Isn't it a paradox? The more our people, the more we as citizens are online, the more our trust in the government decreases. Why do you think this is happening?
Because we have access to different sources of information.
Because we have access to different sources of information
That are not controlled by
that are not controlled by the government.
so they can criticize
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. That's an interesting point. Why else? Why the more time people are online? Have you witnessed in the past years, you know, the Arab, the Twitter revolutions and these protests and, you know, mass manifestations of frustrations of the citizens around the globe during the past years? Have you witnessed something's happening in the world during the past years, right? Sometimes you think like the world goes crazy. What's going on? What's happening? So as this interesting research shows, it's because people start to trust the governments less. What do you think are the remedies for this? How do we bring back citizens' trust in the government? Because this is important. Is it important for Ukraine or for Ukrainian government to have its citizens trusted? Is it important for you as citizens to trust your government? Yes. Yes, because you care about it, because these are your people, yeah? Because it's your government, right? So what do you think are the remedies to bring back this trust?
Perhaps governments have to report officially on their official websites and their policies and the main statements.
Okay, so they have to be.
Their official position, their official websites will
Okay.
promote their actual activity.
Okay, okay. This is, yeah, thank you very much. Very relevant.
In my opinion, it's more about doing, if you consider the governments, than shaping public opinion, because a lot of governments nowadays are concentrated on targeting their nations with some particular messages and trying them to believe in something they are doing, but in fact nothing is being done. That's why it is more important to do something, not only to say that you're going to do something.
I see. Okay, okay. So it's doing things, it's proving, and there are different ways and different means to. Sorry.
They should not contradict.
There should be no contradiction between what they are saying and what they are doing in reality. It was the case of Moldova. We had a very ambitious just as an example, active pro-European parties leading the country throughout the past 4 years or so. Very ambitious EU accession agenda. We got the first ones to get the free visa regime, for example, liberalization regime. But all of a sudden, that prime minister, who was in a way the champion of this agenda, is now charged with massive acts of corruption. So there was one thing on the agenda and on the political plan, and completely different things were happening behind the scene. So you would wonder if a government official, what do you think is the reaction of government officials when they hear this about the internet? What would be an immediate reaction of someone in the government who reads this? To censor internet. What else? Yeah, many say, oh, let's stop, let's cut it, let's close it, let's block it. You know, what's happening? The citizens are going to trust us less. So as a remedy, the same research shows that as a remedy, as one of the strong remedies is to implement e-government practices, e-government platforms, and to bring e-government. So in simple words, the government should be there where the citizens are. If our citizens today are online, if they buy things online, if they communicate online, if they trust the online sources, if they do business online, if they work online, if they learn online, it means that by default, a government should be online. Which is why there are many governments around the world. There are some champion governments, indeed, like Singapore, and you'd have the Nordic countries that have been implementing very ambitious e-government agendas. Moldova has had a very ambitious e-government transformation agenda as well, and I know Ukraine, you are also working on the e-government thing. You have an agency for e-government, which is pretty new, but it's a promising thing. If Ukraine is not going to have it, it's going to witness even more frustrations among the citizens. So as a remedy, the use of e-government and open government are key. What do you think is an open government? How would you define an open government? Transparent and accountable. Excellent words. What else? What does an open government do? Shares information. Mm-hmm. Online questions and answers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent. Open for proposals from the society. You are indeed very right. An open government is a government that has already been mentioned is accountable, and you see this as one of the pillars. An open government is citizen-centric, as you just said, is open for proposals from the citizens. And as I said, where are the citizens? They are online. Most of them are online. It means that the way it engages with the citizens also should include some online platforms, online mechanisms. It's open, it's transparent, and as it was said, and we have here one of the pillars, innovation and technology enabler. This is where it should be thinking about utilizing the most advanced technologies, opportunities, bring in speedy internet, broadband connection. By the way, what's the internet penetration rate here in Ukraine? Internet penetration rate.
In Kiev, it's around 41%.
41%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And mobile. And mobile is even higher probably. You're not sure because people are accessing internet through the mobile devices. In Moldova, we have like 100 plus mobile penetration rate, and internet.
We can Google it.
Okay, you can Google it and you can see. So this pillar does refer to the fact that if a government ambitions itself to become more open, it has to provide access to the speediest and to the most accessible tools and platforms online. Because there was a question about the difference between the open government, the e-government, and internet governance. Open government is something that embeds e-government. I remember when I was working in Nepal for like some years now, in some of the hilly areas, the mountain areas, you know, you have the Himalayas, you have the Everest there. They have very many remote communities. So in one of the communities, the local authorities were bringing elderly people to some discussions late in the evenings. They would be sitting on the floor and they would be discussing the problems of the community. The fact that there is no bridge over the river, the fact that there was a lot of garbage that was not collected, and many other issues. The next day they would bring the women and ask women about what are the issues they are facing, because they have to carry, you know, loads of wood to fire to warm the house, to heat the house, and many other things. They didn't have access to the internet. They didn't have technology. They even didn't have electricity. But as one of the principles of the open government is to consult citizens, this created in a way this opportunity for them to, as a government, to become more open. So an open government does not necessarily need to have a super ambitious technology and internet, but if it has an e-government component, this is already a huge step to building and establishing an open government. Open data is something that you've been hearing a lot. Monica was referring and showing you today the metadata, which is about the data that could be tracked and seen, and you've seen that slide. Open data, open government data, is everything that doesn't deal with state secrets, that is machine readable, that is something that we as citizens pay for. From our taxes, each month we are paying the government to produce this data, which means that we should have access to this data by default. And applications is something that's based on the open data. Maybe you have here, like you've heard about Fix My Street, or Where Does My Money Go? Or, there are applications online where people can search for different things and they find things much easier. Or, for example, there was an interesting application, I think, Monica, it's by UK government, where you actually see, based on the data, how much you pay from your taxes for different, from your salary. You introduce, for example, the amount of your salary, and then it calculates, where and how much you pay for, like, for the pension fund or for the income tax, whatever. So it's the reason, or how much citizens are paying for different infrastructure-related expenses from the taxes. Really interesting. So applications is something that is based on the open data, but no, it's not always the case. What I wanted to also share with you, Ukraine today is a member of a global initiative which motivates it to become more open. Have you heard about Open Government Partnership? OGP? No? Yes. You heard about it? Mm-hmm. So you joined this partnership, and you should know about it, because it's one of the key pillars of the open government is technology and being a technology enabler. Ukraine committed, along with other many countries, we have almost 70 countries today, to become more open, more transparent, more citizen-centric. And let me show you what does this partnership do, and you will find out how much of it's being done online, and why all the discussions that we are having about internet governance are so important. I will leave you with this for a couple of minutes. So you've seen how much of the initiatives are taking place online. Oh, sorry. Okay. You've seen how much of the things are being done online today, and for this you really need to have stable internet, secure internet. You need to have people who are able to deliver the services online. And some of you, I don't remember exactly who was the person yesterday. Some of you asked about the relationship between the e-government and internet governance. Where does it stand? I often hear in different discussions people confusing the things. Like if you talk to some public authorities, they would say, oh, internet governance. So if you approach to someone in the government to say, let's talk about the internet governance and see how this could be solved here in Ukraine or Moldova, they'd say, yeah, we have e-government. We have, yeah, it's there. So they don't understand the key differences between these two. So e-government, what were the key elements that you sensed from the presentation or from what is happening already in the e-government? Online services, okay. So it provides services. So public services, they are all online. In Moldova, for example, we are going to have, by 2020, the ambition is to take online all the public services. So there is this ambition that by 2020, all public services are becoming freely available online, and anyone can benefit from them. What else? It's the electronic government. It's the same government, right? Only delivering whatever it delivers in the online form. Internet governance. What have we kind of learned about the internet governance? Where do you think there are similarities and differences? What's different?
It's a narrower definition. What is done for the benefit of the citizens in this particular country or city or I don't know. And when we're talking about the internet governance, it's more about the process and the institutions which are engaged in this process, and which is about how to organize the internet as a space and how to organize the communication of different nations within this online environment.
Okay. In internet governance, what are the things that we've been talking about during the day, today and yesterday? Did we talk about data? Yes? Did we talk about legal aspects? What else? Infrastructure? Do we need infrastructure for stable internet? Okay. What else? What are the other issues that we deal with in the internet governance debate? Ethics, which deals with the social, cultural aspects. What else?
The diversity of this environment.
Diversity. Okay. Anything else? We talked about the services, right? Which are part of the, so we have the services that are delivered through the means of the internet. Okay, what else?
Reasonable results.
Okay, results are part of all of the components.
It may be some special results that delivered by e-governance.
Here. Okay. So what I wanted to highlight is, I mean, we have the legal, we have the jurisdiction, we have the services, infrastructure, we have the data. E-services, are they part of this agenda? Are they part of the broader internet governance debate? Which is why, remember yesterday when we were talking about the multi-stakeholderism in internet governance, we mentioned the importance of having all the key stakeholders. Who designs the e-services? Governments. Are they part, do they need to be part of the IG debate? Who are the users of the services? Citizens. Do they have to be aware of all the internet governance related issues? And this is especially relevant because many of you are teaching these issues to your students, and they are going to teach the others or to implement those principles at their workplaces, which is extremely, extremely important. Let's quickly see. And in regards to the data, I just quickly wanted to show you what you have here in Ukraine, because the data is also part of the e-governance thing, and data is something that is here. So again, there is an interconnection between the data that is used to generate public services and the data that we have when we access internet. Yeah, Monica was explaining how Facebook utilizes our data, how other big giants are utilizing the data that we leave in the online space. Ukraine has a pretty new, I think, data portal, data.gov.ua. Have you accessed this webpage, this portal? No? Never? You were not keen to see what's happening in different sectors? What are the spendings? What are the infrastructures that you have? This is what it provides. So you can access the portal, and you can find out different data sets. And based on the data sets, you have the possibility to produce applications. You have the possibility to check, to influence the reports that you are producing, to justify something for your students whenever you have any, I don't know, anything in regards to e-medicine or ecology, or you have the science. You can utilize the data that your government produces. So I really urge you to have a look at the online platform, because it's really, really relevant. Moldova is considered to be one of the champion countries in the region in terms of the data. So we have at the moment 879 data sets. And what was interesting to see, there was a map produced by someone, like developers, who used the data to see what district in the country received most of the funding. And when they made the map, interestingly enough, one particular district was having most of the funding. I mean, very, very much funding. They started digging. Why? Our former prime minister was coming from the district. And it's obvious, you know, how you connect the dots. But this alerted people in the online space, and they started to wonder what's going on. So then you start scrutinizing your elected ones. And again, this is due to the data, due to the fact that people have access to the information, have access to the online world. Actually, you said that you have the access to the law regarding access to information. Someone is saying, yes, you have this law. We also have that law. As part of the law, you would be asking for different information. What these portals, and Ukrainian portal also allows you to do, you avoid begging the government, giving you information. But what Ukraine needs at the moment, you need to create a critical mass for demanding more data. Because if you look at this categories here, you have very few data sets. Opening data is painful for many governments. And in our case, it was like, if it's painful, we want pain. But we made it very clear, open data by default. Each month, every ministry has to release at least 3 data sets. UK government is very good with opening up data. US government, you just go for data.gov.us, data.gov.uk, and you can find out different information for different sectors that is publicly available, which is really, really interesting and great. Because some of you said in the beginning, and when you were discussing here in 2 lines, I heard the e-learning thing. I just want to ask you, e-learning is an opportunity, another opportunity that internet brings. Has any of you taken any e-learning courses or takes at the moment? Can you give me just an example?
Cross-culture dialogue.
Cross-cultural dialogue. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Is it, do you get credits for it? Do you have a...
It was free. It was in testing regime.
Uh-huh.
And I received it for free.
You received it for free. But do you get credits? Like whatever courses you are taking online? Yes?
It's for 2 months. You have to make different tasks, you have to write different tests.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay.
So you get a certificate if you make everything. It's like,
Anyone has taken a course in an European university? Anyone did it online? Yes? Uh-huh. Please?
It's a wide service Coursera.
Oh, the Coursera thing.
It's,
Mm-hmm.
there are a wide range
Of courses. Of, Okay, okay. But has anyone taken a course or a program that gives you a well-recognized diploma with a number of credits, like for masters or for even PhD degree? Have you done it online? No, 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 no. Yeah, there are some universities that would give some PhD opportunities, but you have to still go in person and defend your thesis paper. So regardless of the many tough discussions we had early in the morning about the data, about the surveillance, about the blocking, about the censorship, and many other things, there are still great opportunities that internet provides, and e-learning is one of this. Blended learning is something that I put here because I have graduated from a master program in diplomacy and IT with the Mediterranean Academy of Diplomatic Studies. So the program was both online and offline. So we had an offline interaction 1 month program with lecturers and professors, and then it continued for a certain amount of time online, and we even took our exams online. Which was a great opportunity. And the courses are still available, and any of you who are interested, you can benefit from that. When we talk about learning and access, there is an important aspect which we call in the internet world access to access. It's not only about having access, but it's about having access to access. How would you decipher it? Access to access. The possibility or opportunity to have access to the internet itself, right? Not to a particular service, but to the internet through which you could get access to a particular service. I was wondering, in Ukraine, do you have in the remote areas, do you have access points where you provide your citizens with the opportunity to benefit from some e-services or engage online or...
In the sphere of education, they are trying to put at least one or few computers in the school, but the problem maybe with the personnel who have the necessary skills to teach the pupils how to use these computers in order to interact with them.
But I'm not referring here, thank you very much for this, but I was also referring to whether elderly, people in your remote areas have access to Skype to talk to their relatives abroad. They don't necessarily have computers at home, but communities might have access points. Library. In the libraries. Okay. As we are talking about, within the Council of Europe, we talk about the human rights. Access to access. How do you regard it from the perspective of the human rights? Do we need to create those access points? Asia is very known, several countries in Asia, like Bangladesh, we have India, who have created several access points, telecentres. They're called telecentres, and many communities around the country have small hubs, like small places where they provide their locals with access to a computer that's connected to the internet. And it provides them with the possibility to, communicate with their relatives, to see something, to follow some news, or to learn something, which is really great. these are just two examples of how this telecentres would look like. This is actually a picture in Moldova. This is something from Malaysia or Indonesia, if I'm not wrong. The challenge with the telecentres is, remember I was telling during the first day I was working in Liberia, and they tried to create telecentres in Liberia. When we entered, I was very keen to find internet and computers that are connected. They were covered with nice covers, and there is a key to the room. So everything depends on the human factor, and it was a pity that not everyone could have access. It's not open like 24 from 24. Again, from the human rights perspective, we should be thinking about providing people with as much access as possible. If I look at this list here, and we didn't have enough time to talk about or you haven't shared the fact that among the benefits are the possibilities for people to associate, to gather around some particular ideas in the online space. And I think you mentioned earlier about the freedom of association, and you gave examples of how people in Ukraine gather around some particular ideas or some movements. Can you share some examples? Like through the... Change their profile photo to support it. Hashtag United. Okay. Any other examples? I have here the example, I think, of Ukraine social community. I saw it has about 1,000. It will fall down, so just be careful. So people gather around specific issues, around specific problems through the social media, either to talk, to share, to learn from each other. Any of you member of the Ukraine social community? No? No? Okay, I just found it on the... just wanted to share with you, in Moldova we have a group that's called Ask a Doctor. It's for the moms who have kids. And instead of running to the doctor every time your kid sneezes and coughs, we ask our pediatrician a question through this group. And there are several mothers here. You see, 15,000 mothers are connected and talking to the doctor. And doctor is saying every time, don't panic. Don't rush to the doctor. This is what you have to do step by step, including taking a deep breath, which is fantastic. So again, it shows how valuable and what's the power of the internet in bringing this service to mothers. There is a similar campaign probably in Ukraine. It was about gathering communities around cleaning. It's like a clean-up day. Did you have something like this in Ukraine? Yes. Again, it was a mobilization through the social media, and it got support from so many people in the country. Something that we have here as well. All in all, what I wanted to end up with. Sorry. Okay. Because we are running out of time, I was wondering about what would be your dream internet in the future, for the future. It brings challenges, it brings opportunities, it brings different valuable opportunities for us. What would be your dream? How would you see internet in the future? For this, I would like to ask you to talk like for 2 minutes amongst yourselves, like you sit next to each other, and then we will have a quick sharing. What, if you want to design how it should work and continue working in the future, what would your dream be around it? With all the challenges and with all the opportunities it provides. Your dream internet, how it should look like. Okay, so let's quickly see what are the immediate ideas we have. Okay. May I have your attention, please? So last week, as I was sharing yesterday, last week, there was this IGF in Brazil. And during the IGF, both one of the fathers of the internet, Vint Cerf, and the CEO of this huge, big ICANN, were saying several times that the trust in the digital world, the trust in the internet is considerably decreasing. What should we do? What are your dreams vis-a-vis things which could be brought in place to improve this situation? What were the things that you shared? What should be happening? What are your dreams related to the future of the internet? Let's hear some ideas.
From my point of view, it's e-election about what was saying, and also e-learning so that we can pass our exams and get some course in
Okay, so this should be more intensively done and promoted, and this is how your dream regarding internet will come true. Thank you very much. Here. Anything that
about stable, safe,
stable, safe.
internet with the content of high quality, and those who use this content should be responsible for that. So the freedom without responsibility is an asset for me. And the internet is a platform for communication.
So it continues to be a platform for. Okay.
In general, we should trust this platform, internet, like a mechanism platform. This is, as I said, we more or less trust internet. Up to me, I see internet like a platform, like a mechanism that implement every service that you wrote. So we should see internet like a mechanism. I repeat that implement this real service.
As a tool. So this is as a tool. Thank you very much. Here, quickly.
We have agreed on the necessity of acceptability to the internet in every corner.
Accessibility.
Yeah, so just to the internet in every corner of our country and of the world. What we have mentioned, because not in every place, so not all the people can have access to that.
Okay.
So we ask about good internet connection.
Good internet connection.
To have free access to any source.
Free access to any source. Oh, you're
To get information.
like books and.
Yes, books, academic articles.
Okay.
Think a new paradigm, Internet of Things.
Internet of Things, which we haven't talked about, but it's something that's definitely evolving. Thank you very much. Free access to. Thank you very much.
I've heard that in some countries access to internet is a constitutional right.
Is a constitutional right.
Can you give us
In Finland, there was a law passed. In Finland, there was an act, not in France.
no, not in France,
France was the
Holland, Netherlands.
In Holland, it is about net neutrality, which we will talk about tomorrow. It's a different concept. So net neutrality.
I think that access to internet should be a constitutional right.
Okay. A constitutional right. Constitutional right. It's very ambitious, but why not? Yeah. Thank you.
My view, internet is a truly universal environment where you can find the content in different languages, and also software should not only be based on English language, but it should also, and it shouldn't be only European or American centric, but also take into account the interest of developing nations and like for everyone in the world.
I did some research many years ago about the Swahili language and the way it's represented in the cyberspace, and also one of the languages spoken by one of the ethnic groups in Moldova. Really interesting, and how they are expressing their rights and having the right to internet has been limited because there is no script. Again, it takes us to the IDNs, to the internationalized domain names. And yeah, thank you very much. Any other ideas? Quickly. Your dreams.
My dreams is e-medicine. I mean,
E-medicine. Have access to
no, it's mean the forum of different doctors and store of all medicine that date. Because now in Ukraine we have such problems in around the world with diagnosis. To receive diagnosis.
I see. Okay.
So I think maybe medicine is good possibility. And second dream is internet without virus.
Without viruses, okay.
Thank you.
No viruses. Well, my dear, no viruses, no hackers. We'll talk about the cybersecurity and cybercrimes tomorrow. Indeed, this is a vulnerable aspect of the internet, but let's hope. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Here, one dream that hasn't been on the list yet.
Where is using advertisement?
And what kind of
Like context advertisement.
Advertisement.
Decrease less. Maybe some methods to control these advertisements.
So you don't want an advertisement to pop on your screen every time you open a certain site.
It's not possible to avoid
reduce
it, yes, but I think it's possible to make it less.
Limit advertisement. Okay. Thank you very much. Here, one idea quickly.
Maybe the internet where the privacy is ensured on the highest level possible. I believe there are some initiatives in the EU to this main principles, new principles, data protection by design and by default.
I see.
So in the design of some particular site, internet site, it must be ensured that the user has the highest level of his or her data protection.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Valid enough.
I also think that I like internet without virus, and I believe that in some days internet can be free content of internet was free, and it was a copyright reform. It will copyright reform, and the movie studios can will earn money only from advertising. And yes, but content, movies is
free online. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Any other ideas? Things that haven't been quickly.
Perhaps one day internet will become a platform to eliminate differences between the understanding by the countries of international relations and international law generally. So the equality has to be provided in all the spheres.
Okay. Okay. International relations. Thank you very much. Here, quickly.
My dreams, internet gives opportunities to get Ukrainians all over the world in one huge Ukrainian political nations to be behind highway in the world.
So all Ukrainians in the world are brought together. Okay. Okay. So it's going to serve as a platform for unity and for something like this. All Ukrainians. Thank you very much. Here, quickly, some ideas.
High quality of information provided.
High quality, high quality.
I mean, unless content that somehow stimulates people and which, for example, children have access and they are vulnerable because of that.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. And here, one or two ideas maximum before, please, you have spoken.
About efficient internet in the context of human rights protection all over the world.
Efficient internet.
I mean, efficient internet in any human rights protection. For example, something happened, a human being could write and it would be reaction all over the world. I mean, especially the organizational structure can help.
I see. Okay. Well, the things that you have put here, all these ideas, they are They are ideas. This is the value that you see in the internet as a public good. And the position of the Council of Europe is, and it goes back to the 2007, and this is something I'd like to conclude, that it adopted a recommendation on measures to promote the public service value of the internet. So there is a lot of effort on behalf of the Council of Europe to continue promoting and to continue disseminating the aspects and elements related to things you have just mentioned here concerning the public value of the internet. There are different ways to do it, and we are not going to go into the details, but if you open up the recommendation, you would definitely see a number of opportunities there. With this, I would like to thank you very much for the day today, and we are going to...
Concerning penetration internet in Ukraine,
yeah.
it's approximately up to from 23%
Okay.
up to 64%. It's readily it's 20 up to 25 users in Ukraine, million users.
I see. Okay, this is really good. And see, again, you could do it.
But
Because
it's statistics on 2004 last year.
Oh, 2014.
2014.